Toys. I'll be honest, I love collecting them. I think it's such a fun hobby. Not only do I love collecting these figures, but I get a real kick out of taking photos of them and seeing what I can do with them under a camera lens. Old toys, new toys, art toys, even wrestling toys. I'm always looking for a new evil villain to be added to my collection. My personal favorite toys to collect are Transformers. I love collecting Transformers. When I look at my Transformer collection, I think straight away, these are why I'm broke. I mean, these toys are so cool. Transformers and I go way back, as I had a handful of Transformer toys when I was a little sprog. Starscream being my favourite Transformer toy and my favourite character at the time, today it's Rumble. But there was one Transformer toy in my sprog days that I got for Christmas that I just didn't give a chance. And that Transformer is Skullcruncher. Let me paint a picture for you. I must have been 4 or 5 and there was a big present wrapped under the Christmas tree and I thought it was for me, but it was for my cousin. Let's just call him Dane. Dane opens his present and behold, he gets Trypticon. I lost it. I wanted Trypticon. When my mum gave me my present, it was much smaller. I unwrapped it and it was Skullcruncher. Was I happy? Nope. My eyes were fixated on Trypticon. That day, I ended up throwing Skullcruncher down the drain cause I thought that's where he lived. And from that day, I never heard about Skullcruncher until I got him off eBay about a year ago. This would be the first time I've seen this Transformer in years. I felt so bad and sorry for what I did to this Transformer. I just had to pick him up. So I decided to go the next step and get to know who this reptile Decepticon character is. So let's get into the backstory of Skullcruncher, cause I want to become friends with him again. On the back of the Transformer G1 box, a mini bio strip of the character can be found. Skullcruncher's bio reads, Function, Swamp Warrior. Autobots are like bad fuel, weak and greasy. He has a habit of grinding his teeth before he strikes, annoying his friends and tipping off his enemies. Binary bonded to Grax, a Nebulan industrialist who joined up to eliminate his competition. In robot mode, uses softening ray gun gives metal the consistency of rubber, making his enemies easier to chew when he reverts to alligator mode. The card points out a description that Skullcruncher is operated by Grax. What this means is this little guy is in control of this body. Skullcruncher's appearance in the comics explains how Grax is binary bonded. The Headmasters comics are broken up in a 4-part miniseries. The first comic gives us quite the scene as the Autobots are prisoned by the Decepticons led by Scorponok. Things are looking grim for the Autobots as they are being led to a smeltering pool to be melted down. Skullcruncher is present saying, "Let's deal with them, Slugslinger, I'll have them begging for a swim in the pool." Fortress Maximus stops the Autobots from having to deal with that scene, and together the Autobots overpower the Decepticons, leaving them with no option but to retreat. Thinking of a way out of the war between the Decepticons, Fortress Max brings up the idea of abandoning Cybertron for a new planet so they can live in peace. The new planet Fort Max has his eye on is called Nebulous. The Autobots are not met lightly with the people from Nebulous, especially by a character called Lord Zark. In the second comic we meet a character called Grax, who is an industrialist and a lackey for Lord Zark. This would be the first and last human appearance for Grax. Lord Zark ends up making radio contact with the Decepticons on Cybertron, wanting to help rid of the planet of the Autobots. Scorponok and the gang are more than eager to help out. But things don't go the way that Lord Zark intends. The Decepticons end up imprisonating Lord Zark and his lackeys. Lord Zark sends out a distress call, claiming that himself and several other humans were able to escape the Decepticons. Given his location, Lord Zark claims that he wants the Autobots to help with the rescue. When the Autobots show up, they notice the situation has changed. Lord Zark is free, but the Decepticons come out with no heads attached to their bodies. But what the Autobots don't know is, 6 of Lord Zark's lackeys, including Grax, have undergone bioengineering, to make them fold up and replace the heads on the Decepticons, making them controlled by humans and much stronger. And then an attack rolls out. I like this quote from Skullcruncher: "Come on Decepticons, let's stomp these creatures until we're knee deep in pink slime." His catchphrases are pretty out there. Here we get to see Skullcruncher fight in alligator mode and tossed around so easily by his tail, which happens in a very familiar scene in the original Transformer cartoon series. We get to see our first glimpse of Skullcruncher in episode 96, titled The Rebirth Part 1. This will be a 3-part series and the last few episodes of the original Transformer cartoon series. There's a part in the episode that is very similar to the comic. The Decepticons led by Scourge and Cyclonus are captured by a character called Zarek on a planet called Nebulous. Zarek offers a deal with the Decepticons that will help them defeat the Autobots, and all it will cost is their heads. Oh, that sounds pretty simple. What's the catch? Zarek wants robotic ectosuits for his lackeys made out of the Decepticons' heads, so that they can be controlled by humans, giving them the strength to destroy the Autobots. The Decepticons have no choice as well. Cyclonus offers that the humans use this Headmaster experiment only on the animal Decepticons. At this point I thought Skullcruncher would be getting his introduction, but they didn't even introduce him, they totally forgot about him. During the last 3 Rebirth episodes, Skullcruncher has a few lines here and there, but he doesn't really say that much really. In 1987 we get another Transformer cartoon series titled Transformers Headmasters. This will be a little bit different to the American cartoon because this cartoon is made in Japan. In the Japanese Transformers cartoon we get a bit of a background story on Skullcruncher. Fortress Max shows up telling a story about 4 million years ago the war on Cybertron has caused great destruction. Fortress Max was voted a leader and in charge to find a new home planet. That planet was called Master Star. On this planet they experimented with themselves with the Headmaster process, making themselves stronger. Fortress Max tells of their own kind becoming traitors and the traitors being expelled from the planet. Those who were expelled began to invade other planets and later joining forces with the Decepticons. This explains their attack on the Autobots in the first episode Rebirth Part 1 on why Skullcruncher was fighting alongside with Galvatron and the Decepticons. The comic gives such a different story to the animated cartoon series. Between the comic book backstory of Skullcruncher to the animated cartoon series, I really like the Headmasters cartoon backstory on Skullcruncher. While it isn't the longest story, it's still really visual how Fort Max tells the story. I really like the idea of Skullcruncher as a traitor to the Autobots. Throughout the Headmasters TV show, Skullcruncher is perceived in the show more of a bully. He looks menacing, but the Autobots throw him around pretty much in all the episodes. They treat him well, they treat him like a traitor. Now, to Skullcruncher's toys. He's had a few toys, so let's start with the original G1 toy. I really like the Headmasters TV show, and I really like the Headmasters toys. I think the toys are really exceptionally built. The plastic feels much sturdier. Even though Skullcruncher never shows his power stats off in the cartoon, it's cool that they added this feature to the toy. Skullcruncher has a gun and a sword. Well, I thought this was a sword, but in the cartoon he's shooting lasers out of it. It's pretty cool. The colours are awesome, but I find his face so small looking. He has every accessory that he does in the cartoon, and his transformation looks incredible. I prefer this Skullcruncher toy in bot mode, but I am looking for a Skullcruncher toy so I can display him in alligator mode. So let's see what other options we have for Skullcruncher toys. We have an up and coming Fans Toys version, a Cyber Universe version, Titans Return, Fans Project, there's a Toy World version, Takara Tomy Legends, Unique Toys version, and McFans Toys. I really like this version. The original Skullcruncher toy is still a great option, but it's a bit expensive, so these options might be better and you may prefer the look of these over the original. Skullcruncher is a character who went totally under my radar for years. I've always loved watching Transformers from time to time, but it wasn't until making the next step to collecting the toys that it opened up the Transformers universe even larger for me, as I was only aware of the original Transformers cartoon series. Coming across Skullcruncher brought back a memory that I long forgotten, and it was fun to revisit. Upon buying this Skullcruncher toy, I bought the original Transformer cartoon series on DVD, and same with the Japanese series, and I had a great time getting to know the characters better. Skullcruncher's backstory is short, but I'll never forget it because I will always think of him as a traitor, and he gets what's coming towards him in all the episodes. I just can't help to think, is he a comedy relief in the cartoon series, cause it kind of felt like it. Buying the Transformer comics is something that I will continue to do, as the stories are a lot different to the cartoon series. I feel as though I came into the franchise at a great time, with new toys, comics and TV shows being made. It makes me feel like a kid all over again.
Hey guys, thank you so much for making it this far into the backstory of Skullcruncher. I had a lot of fun putting this together because doing this backstory gave me a great excuse to sit down and watch all the Transformers from start to, well, not to Super God Master Force. It's a Japanese version, like rendition of Transformers, and it's so different and stuff. Like, not only did I watch all the American versions of Transformers, I watched the cartoon as well, the movie. Oh, the cartoon, of course I did. I watched the movie. I really enjoyed that one, and out of all the Transformers that I've, what I've watched so far, I really enjoyed the Headmasters. The Headmasters tells a great story. It's 32 episodes long, or it might be 34, and it tells it's a continuation from start to finish, and it tells a great story. There's a lot of emotional episodes and stuff with like Transformers dying and stuff. I thought it was great. I think out of all of it, like Headmasters is definitely my favorite, and especially because in Transformers I don't really like the humans, and Headmasters has less humans than it does, in the American version. And what less humans, in my opinion, is better storylines. Hope I didn't upset anyone there. But and as well, I'm going to be doing more Transformer content on this channel. Not only do I collect G1 toys, but I've got into collecting the third-party Transformer toys, and there's some that I really like and stuff. But like, I'm not like heavily into collecting it. Like, I don't have like a massive collection or anything like that. I'm personally, I only collect villains, but when I watched the Headmasters, I was like, oh, some of the good guys are kind of cool. So maybe I might pick some of them up. But I'm a bit steadier with my collecting. Like, I only buy like maybe one a month and stuff. Like, say for instance, I have this right here. What is it? What is it? It's Starscream, the Legends. I really like these Legends. I reckon they're really cool. But yeah, like I haven't even opened it yet. Like, I will soon. But there's going to be more kind of like Transformer content on this channel. I might do like comic book reviews. I might do like my take on the Netflix series. I actually watched that, and I think there's like a new one or something coming out and stuff. So there's going to be plenty more Transformers content on this channel. I'm just going to kind of have some fun with it as well, and learn some stuff, like, because I never knew anything about this guy, and it was quite fun seeing him on the big screen, even though he was a bit of a doofus and stuff. But he's still a cool Transformer, and well, hopefully one day I might get that Trypticon. Probably not actually, because what is it, like $300-400? My god. One day I'll be able to obtain that one day. We'll see. And of course I'll do a backstory or review, and have some fun with it. It'll be quite a fun day whenever I do find that. My god, why are they so expensive? I think this guy was probably nearly about 120 and stuff. Like, 120 bucks, man. I could put it. Oh man, I should have gone down. I should have paid the sewer a visit, where I threw this guy, man. I'm probably still sitting there. It's not a bad idea. No, I'm not gonna do that stuff. And as well, if there was a Skullcruncher toy that I didn't mention, please let me know, because that way it can open up my world a bit more. And hell, I'm still looking I want an alt mode for this guy. That would be awesome. Anyways, guys, take it easy.